Hello everyone, welcome back to IndianCoding.com. Today we are going to study about PHP filters. So let's see what is it. So in case of PHP filters, it is used to validate and sanitize the external input. Okay, for that I have to use the table in that case. In HTML we have already studied about the tables. So let's see what is going to happen in this. Fine. So here on screen you can see that I have created the table and table details I have filled, that is filter name, and the second one I am going to create as a filter ID. Fine. Two things I have created. The next thing I am going to work on is I have to create the PHP code because we are going to work on that only. Fine. So in that case, what is going to happen? I am going to write the first thing is for each. So I'll use the for loop method. So in that case, I am mentioning the variable name first. So let me create the variable name, like something variable name I need to create. So I will just mention the variable list here. Fine. So variable list as a key. So I will change it to the ID and the value is filter here. So I will just remove this value and just fill the filter over there. Fine. These things are created. Now I will mention the codes here. What all the codes I need to work on. Okay. So I am just mentioning the echo tr bracket close, then td. Let me close that closing tag over there. Okay, I have mentioned all these things and then I will mention the dot dollar filter dot, and the same thing I will mention here again. Fine. And then I will again mention the filter. Wait, yeah, I have to close this, so I will just mention the closing tag for that. Fine. After that I will just write filter underscore ID, and what is the filter name? That is the filter already. Okay. Again, I will mention I will close the TD and the TR over there. Fine. So these things are mentioned. Let me close it. And TD will be closed here. Okay, fine. The bracket is mentioned and the PHP should be end after the bracket. So I will just mention the question mark and the closing bracket over there. Fine. Let me reload it. So some error is over there. It is already telling some error. Let me just check what is the error. So I have to mention the semicolon here. Fine. Let me reload it again. Now on screen you can see that all the details are available here. So that is how you can create the filters. So this will help you to understand how to create it. So why we use filter? So many web applications receive the external input. An external input that can be user input from a form, cookie, web services, and then server variable. These are the forms why we use the filters over there. So we have to filter it, like what all the things are required, then that only we are going to give. Fine. I am giving you one more example for the sanitize the string. Fine. In that case, we have to sanitize the particular string. Only that thing is, whatever the things you want to check, that only will be required. Okay. So that will be mentioned over there. After that, the rest of the thing will be deleted or will be removed from there. So that is what we needed, right? So when we want to check some particular thing, we just require that only. So in that case, what we call it? We call it sanitizing. So what is sanitizing means? It will only provide you that thing that you need to check. It will filter the rest of the thing that is not required right now. Fine. So in that case, I am going to mention one code here, then we will see how to work on that. First, let me give you the variable for that. I am providing you variable for the what is the filter where here. It will this function filters a single variable with a specific filter, and it takes two pieces of data. First, the variable you want to check and the type you want to check to use. Okay, the type of check of use. So what kind of what is variable you want to check, and what is the kind of variable, what is the check you want to use. That is how it is going to work on. So let me mention it. I have mentioned the few things over here. I hope you understand this. First, you have to mention the filter variable, and then ID I have mentioned. After that, I am going to mention the echo is validate or not. So this particular validation for this IP is validate or not. It is not validate, then it will automatically provide you this particular variable is not validate. Okay, so let me just copy paste here. I'm just going to mention not. Fine. So we just need to check if this particular code is validate or not. Fine. So just everything is correct. I have to check it once, and after that, yeah, let me just reload this file and let me check here. This particular code is valid. Okay, whatever you have mentioned over that code is valid. So that is what we wanted to check, if that particular code is validate or not. So these are the few kinds of method you can perform in the filter. I have told you about the what is the use of the filter. I have already mentioned you what is the way to use the validate or not, if the particular code you are mentioning is validate or not. So it is already mentioned that validate IP. So we have mentioned the IP is validate or not. So you can see on screen the validate IP is already mentioned. So that is why that code is telling you that this thing is already mentioned over there. So that is how you can provide it. So you will be able to check from here these codes are available or not. Okay, so that's all for today's class. Tomorrow we'll study about more features related to PHP. Thank you so much.